Stephen Gudino, Cal Art of Sports with the legendary Bernard Hopkins, man. It's incredible to see you here. I feel like, Philly just won. Philly's on a high, but, you were supposed to be a participant in the parade. And
handing the belts out.
Right, handing belts out. And, but you're here, man. You're here supporting your guys. Just tell me about this show and just why.
Well, not only am I supporting, this is, I'm part owner of Golden Boy. So could I've stayed in spite of an Oscar to have my back, and that's the unique thing that we have at Golden Boy for over 20-something years, is that we can split duties. And this ain't the first time where I was at a fight and Oscar wasn't, and that's the beauty and advantage that I believe we have over anybody from the past and present. So, but I had to make a decision based on knowing that it might not be another Super Bowl. Hopefully it will. And took us 7-8 years to get back, right? Do the math. So I just turned 60. I'm hoping not, that we're going to win it before I hit 70. So I say that to say this. I was tested on my loyalty and professionalism. I'm going to say that again. I was tested on my loyalty and my professionalism, because when you get a call from people in high positions, I will say, in Philadelphia, and I can say Pennsylvania too, Philly, Pennsylvania. So I think you figured out who that was. But I was on a call, on Zoom, and I got to see certain things, and then I plugged in on my Channel 6 Action News that I have, that app on my phone, and I watched and heard the commentating on the parade from the sports arenas to the Rocky Steps, which is called the Art Museum, which is a 10-mile straight run, Broad Street. Unbelievable. They're estimating a shy 1.1 million people. There were people there from the Super Bowl from, I believe, 2010, or the last Super Bowl.
I think 17.
17, excuse me. That was there for this one, reminding how time go by fast. Look, I didn't even know when the last time we won it. I know it was that far ago. But it was great. But again, this fight card tomorrow night is loaded. We've been consistent, along with, thanks of the sponsor of boxing, Riyadh season, Turkey out of Sheik, much needed in our sport. That power / motivation and sincere efforts and negotiations, not the fluff, not the usual that's been killing boxing for decades, have now come to an end. That's what I'm happy about. And some are not, and they should be. They should be unhappy. But there's more to come. Get down or lay down.
Well, one of the big ones.
Get down or lay down.
One of the big ones coming up, like you mentioned, big stuff's coming. Ryan versus Rolly, man, that's a great fight. Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez, it sounds like on the undercard in New York.
It's a good fight, potentials to be a great fight. I think all these matches that's coming up in the future, no matter what weight class they are in, the best will be fighting the best. That's what the new energy stand on coming in to the world of boxing, especially in the United States. The best fight the best. You remember them conversations. You remember hearing these conversations. You remember who was saying these conversations. Turki Al-Sheikh, correct? What happens after these fights has an opportunity to be debated or certified to be a great fight. It's a good matchup with a potential great fight. We have to wait. That's the suspense. Beat the drum roller. You gotta build that way up to that, and the fighters gotta prove that they are worthy of giving that. And that's the suspense and the patience that makes this thing so fun for me and you and everybody to be able to go through the process. And then the main event of those type of shows or super fights that's going to be presented in 2025. This year's, look, it's going to outdo last year and the year before last. I can't go no further than that. But this is not like a competition, basically. So I should say it's a build-up from those years that was mentioned by my partner Oscar De La Hoya and myself, that we want to make the best fights. But it ain't just us right now. You got Matchroom Boxing. Eddie Hearn's doing a great, fantastic job over there, putting his best up against the best. Top Rank, Bob Arum, always been. It's nothing new to him. It's a breath of fresh air to him. I understand and I believe. He's been in the game 50 years plus. These are the things that was the words that were saying, but these are the things must happen. Saying it, promising it, but don't deliver on it, no intentions to deliver on it, has been the stigma of boxing.
Like you said, super fights are happening this year. Obviously, you guys got a big card next week with Virgil and Madrimov. It's an incredible fight, man. That's an incredible fight, best fighting the best. You know, I want to get to a super fight that a little more down the road in September. You have a specific...
Canelo?
Yeah, Canelo versus Terence Crawford. But I really want to get kind of your specific knowledge on this subject, really, is Crawford's coming up 14 pounds to fight Canelo, right? You went up 15 pounds to fight Antonio Tarver. What questions, as the smaller guy going into...
In history, I'm the only one. It was an attempt by Sugar Ray Robinson. Look at the history. I don't know if you know this. Or you do.
He lost.
Yeah, but lost. Sugar Ray Robinson wanted to make history by going from 60 to 75. The only reason Ray Robinson didn't win because in New York City, in the stadium, it was 100 plus degrees. They had changed 2 referees for that fight. And he lost the fight because he couldn't come out for the 15th or the 14th or whatever round it was after the 10th, 11th, and 12th round. That's the only reason Sugar Ray Robinson lost that fight. And the people that tried to, accomplish that probably never even thought about doing it. But I know I wasn't done in boxing. I know I wasn't finished, and I wanted to continue to make history. So one day, my record-setting career will be out there to be broken, to be chased. And here I am, waiting to see if that happens. If it happens, or when it happens, it don't do nothing but help boxing even more and give the next generation way past Crawford to be able to break any other record. If he accomplished that, which is not a given, I think it's a task of, I'm a middleweight, been a middleweight, made history in the middleweight, could have made Hall of Fame in middleweight if I would have stopped there, but I didn't. I'm different. I'm different. The way I box, I'm different. The way I took care of myself, I'm different. The way I strategize things. I'm different all the way around the board. And Crawford would be that different challenge for Canelo. But I said, like I said before, and I'm going to repeat it now. A good big man always beat a good little man. I like the good big man.
So I wanted to ask you specifically how, because you did it, right? You accomplished it and you won. What questions, as a smaller guy moving up, what questions are you trying to answer in your head, those first couple rounds and in there with the bigger guy? Like what stuff are you going through in camp that you're kind of like getting the answers in the fight?
I think you get the answers through working towards the fight, training, your past achievements. Whether this one is bigger than everyone you had, doesn't matter. You reflect by putting the work in, having the right work, the right strategy. It's not just myself taking all of it in. It's me when I'm by myself. It's me when I'm not by myself. But at the end of the day, all the mechanics in that environment of mine have a duty to make my job easier. Means the strategy, the mental, the confidence, the energy. If I'm with confidence and people around me don't have the confidence and I feel it and I see it, if I don't get them back on track, even though they're not going in the ring, then it becomes contagious. The energy, the vibes, the confidence. This, to me, has been a part of how I've been disciplined, how I could look at a person around me in my camp and say, are you worried? No, I ain't worried. I asked him that or her for a reason. Most likely it's him that I asked. Because I want to make sure that they don't have that spirit that can be contagious. Confidence of putting the work in doesn't mean a guaranteed win. There comes a time where you have to put all of it out there and do what you want to accomplish then and now, and let the best man win. That's leave it all in the ring. You leave it all in training when it's need to. You save some, and then you peak at the right time. And that's what I've been a master at.
Oh, 100%, man. I'm looking forward to it. I know you said the good big man always beats the good little man. So kind of lastly, if you're Crawford,
be great fights.
I was going to say
there's going to be some great fights. Look, my choice. Can Crawford do what most little men haven't done in history? Look, Holyfield wasn't a big man, but Holyfield was a cruiserweight.
They were 190.
That was 190, but they was on the borderline of next door, not 2 or 3 weight classes. I think with people that don't understand the body like I do, and every individual is different, just because you was great at this weight or that weight doesn't mean you're gonna bring that talent with more weight. That's important. In every sport, you might not be as great. That's the test. That's the suspense. That's the big question. That's the big interview. That's the big what if. Just because you get bigger or want to get bigger doesn't mean you take that same talent in that different weight class. There's a difference. The talent gets there, but the weight compromises in most cases.
We'll see if that's the case in September, right? Bernard, always a pleasure, brother. Thank you so much.
That's the suspense.
Yes, sir.